Hello and good evening. Welcome to Cured Whey, the cheese class. We have a really nice cheeses for you. We have some incredible wines. We have an incredible team. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. We have a couple of new faces and, of course, a couple of the regulars. So, you all know me. Michael was MGP in Cured Whey. You all know Caroline. You know Jamie and Janelle. Our newest member over here is Diana. We stole her from another competitor. So, all right. And then, of course, to my left over here, we have familiar face Jason Blanchett as our somm. And we have Chris Williams with us tonight, too, to enjoy a wonderful wine with this. So why don't you guys talk about a little bit about your background, especially you, Chris, and then talk about the wines.
Okay.
Or the wine.
All right. Well, as Michael mentioned, my name is Christopher Williams. I've been here locally in Las Vegas for 5 years now. Been a part of this lovely industry we know as the wine game for about 22 years now. It's taken me a lot of great places, met a lot of wonderful people. And it's just a passion that I've been fortunate enough to make a living with. So I'm here to share my input and my information with these wonderful people that are so gracious enough to include me in these festivities. So I'm sitting next to Jason, who's how long you been?
I've been in the industry about 35 years.
About 35 years. So between the two of us, we're going to bounce off some of our own opinions and whatnot about the pairings, about the wine, some of the things that we can share with you, so that you can move forward and shop, be a better shopper, be a more knowledgeable connoisseur yourself, and that's pretty much what I bring to the table.
Okay, Jason.
Grew up East Coast, started in restaurants, when I was first able to work. Hated cold weather, moved down to New Orleans, had a hurricane, moved to Vegas, worked in a lot of the restaurants around town. Most recently at Carbone, and then I jumped off onto the distribution side. And now I sell wine to most of the restaurants that I worked in. So it's just a great business. It's all about the pairings, people you meet, and just going through history.
I love this town, how it has changed from a steak and potato and cheap shrimp cocktail to what it is now. Yeah. Fine dining, gourmet restaurants, cheese shop, us, Valley Cheese and Wine. I mean, it's amazing on what's happening in this town, and I'm looking forward to the next coming years because it's going to change, it's going to expand. We're going to get a couple of food halls. We're going to get different concepts in town. So I'm really looking forward to all that. And I mean, being here for so many years, I've been here for, oh my God, since '86. So it's been a change. Okay.
I think you can attest to this. Las Vegas has always been a place where you could get some great wines, but you had to be in a finer establishment, the more high-end establishment. But over the last, I'd say, 8 years or so, there's kind of been the slow wave of new blood into the industry that have brought along with it this new, I guess you could say, offering of knowledge and styles when it comes to wine.
Well,
so we're in a great place now.
Absolutely. And like Jason works for Epic.
Yes.
Okay. And being a new wine distributor here in town, there's quite a few actually now, where before it was a monopoly, and now it's actually spreading out, and it's becoming really interesting now because all of a sudden we get to see wines that are different, small producers, small farms. I think that is kind of interesting for me.
Right, it is.
As a consumer.
I mean, I think the wine industry in Vegas as a whole is kind of just followed the whole mixology craze. So, where mixology before was just your classics, your old fashions, your martinis, Sazeracs, and so forth, Manhattans. And now, every restaurant in Vegas has their own spirit program and mixologist on board. And I think, it's just time for wine to kind of follow suit. And, not every majority of us can't afford most of the wines on the list in some of the big restaurants in the
Right.
city. You know, if you
Right.
find 70 or 100,
Right.
Yeah.
the far and few between, you're lucky.
Right.
I mean, those wines are, you go to those restaurants and the wines on those wine lists, they're all amazing.
Yeah.
It just depends on what you're eating that night and what you
Right.
want to drink more than
Right.
anything. You know, it's the lower end wines you've got to like start to do a little bit more research on and start to dive in. I'd say Barbera is surely one
Oh,
of
yeah.
those. You know, it's the
Absolutely.
third largest planted, widely
Absolutely.
planted grape in Italy. You know, if you're looking, you just don't want to go to the Sangiovese or Chianti. Barbera is a phenomenal alternative. You know, it's good.
It's definitely a trip to the old world in the glass.
Yeah.
It really gives you that authentic, earthiness that you can imagine.
Yeah.
What the winemaking process
is.
would be
Yeah.
like.
No doubt about it.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
herbaceous note is there. The minerality, the others, and sense of flowers,
Sure.
grass and so forth. But I think what makes Barbera really special is just those low tannins,
Oh,
and that
man.
beautiful, the kiss of like sweet fruit.
Quite
Those
agreeable.
dried strawberries and plums, blackberries, black cherries, and I think it's just
Definitely the dark fruit notes for sure. Definitely.
Well, and it goes spectacular with a typical Mediterranean diet.
the acid.
Okay, I mean, or
Very
Mediterranean
agreeable.
food.
Yeah. Right,
Okay, influx. I mean, not only that, it's very universal actually if you think about it.
Mhm.
And I enjoy Barbera quite frequently.
It's food friendly, it's delicious. If
Exactly.
you ever go to Piemonte's, they don't drink Barolo. I mean,
No.
some people
Yeah.
do, but I mean, the majority of people, this is what they drink on a normal everyday basis.
This is
It's
in
either
your
Barolo Jet.
Yeah.
bad wine.
Everybody, cheers. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for allowing us to come into your living room.
Cheers.
And cheers to all of you.
Cheers.
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 Whoa.
Cheers, ladies.
Cheers. Cheers, ladies. Come. Oh, by the way, we have the Cured Nerds.
Not curd nerds.
Okay, we have the Cured Nerds. So, Caroline, why don't you talk about a little bit about the cheeses that we have tonight?
Okay, so tonight we decide to pair that beautiful wine with 3 cheeses. And well, I know this one is from, the wine is from Italy, but we decide to pair with 1 cheese from California, this one for Belgium, and this one from France.
One of the
Here you
oldest
go. Yes.
cheeses.
So California, Belgium, France.
So you have the youngest one, the newest addition to Cowgirl Creamery.
Campbell Creamery.
Yes.
So this one is the winter seasonal one, and so we have to know that Cowgirl Creamery is all organic, organic milk. This one is aged about 4 weeks. They sprinkle their cheese with flaky peppers, so it's a little bit of hot. They decide to do that for winter because winter is kind of hot. Like by the wood fire. I think it would be great to have that cheese with.
What's really nice about this particular cheese, or all the cheeses from Cowgirl Creamery, you can cut them in half.
Yeah.
And then you can burlay them. Really nice. Get a little torch and just torch them. It gets crumbly, it gets crusty. It's a beautiful cheese for that.
Yeah, totally. So look at that beautiful soft ripened cheese. So of course, you eat the rind on this one, please. That's the best part. You could see, the paste with the little holes in the middle. It's more dense and white in the middle, and more like creamy on the outside.
Spongy.
Yeah, spongy. And we have a little. So
Cowgirl Creamery is a typical California cheesemaker up in Petaluma. I just got to go actually to the plant, picking up some cheese not too long ago. And Peggy and Sue Conley and Peggy, and sorry, I forgot her last name. are the owners, and they have a wonderful lady working with them by the name of Deborah Dickinson, and absolutely fantastic. So yeah, Cowgirl is one of my favorite cheeses to enjoy up in the Bay Area. If you guys have a chance, go up into San Francisco, go to the Ferry Building. They have inside the Ferry Building an incredible cheese shop, but then also take the Uber or the Lyft or the rental car and go up into Petaluma and drive out there and see where it all started originally. They're still making cheese out there, but they're also making cheese now in San Rafael because they actually had quite a growth. It's absolutely fantastic to see this company grow. Two genuine ladies that are just absolutely sweethearts, fantastic cheesemakers, and yeah, I can give them enough praise. Okay, working only with the finest ingredients that they can find, the Strauss family, the Tavern family, and so forth. I mean, it's just, for me, they're basically, it's not a farm to table, but it would be farm to vat. Okay.
So this time we decided to give you the taste of the winter one. But if you were there with the previous class, we have the white from the fall. It was the Chimney Rock.
Chimney Rock.
So yeah, the Chimney Rock has some mushroom, shiitake mushroom on the outside of the cheese. So I don't know if taste this one though. So now we have to wait until next year to taste again the Chimney Rock because all those cheese are seasonal. So enjoy the winter one now.
Yes. All right, Diana, why don't you go ahead and make a quick cheese board?
Okay.
You can do.
Go ahead. Well, just first starting off with that one.
Yes. So we're going to start off with the soft ripened cheese. We, just like Caroline cut it, we're going to cut it into wedges. Very simply. Yeah. Into wedges.
Yeah, I just would like to add that this is very important that when you cut those cheeses, that everybody could get an equally part of the rind. The rind, I mean, especially on this one, the rind is the best part.
Actually, it's so good. Yeah, it is really good. I really enjoy that. And it's good with the wine.
Very good with the wine. So there's no right or way to put it on the platter or any board that you have. If you fancy putting them together in a circle, I sometimes like to keep it a little asymmetrical, give it a little pizzazz, lets a little accompaniments go right in the middle there.
Okay. Let's talk about the wine and the cheese.
If you want to grab a bottle.
The bottle.
So as we mentioned, this is Barbera. Almost every producer that makes Barbera makes Barolo and Dolcetto and some Barbaresco as well. So it's from the Piemonte region in northwestern Italy. Roberta has been making wine since the early 20th century. You'll see the La Gemella just refers to the winemaker's mother. And La Gemella in Italian means twin, so she was a twin in herself, and she's kind of the soul and the heart of the winery. These guys are pretty special. They've got some of the best vineyards in all of Barolo, but they take their Barbera very seriously as well, as this is what generally they drink on a normal daily basis. But I would say the biggest thing that this kind of cheese matches up with the wine is that pine grass note to it that matches with the herbaceousness and the creamy texture. Just that plush fruit and that opulence comes out.
So like we were just mentioning kind of off camera a few minutes ago with our reds, we tend to like them a little cooler, on the cooler side. And that's the beautiful thing about this is that there's no wrong time to drink it. It's very, very agreeable with just about anything. And I like the way, what I tend to look for when I'm having wine with cheese is I don't necessarily look for a wine that's going to cut through the cheese so that I can taste the wine. I want it to kind of sit there on its own, and those tastes kind of marry one another. And this is great for that because it gives you an opportunity to continue to enjoy that on the palate and then kind of add something else to it. So you get it like kind of a stony feel, if you will,
Yeah.
where there's layers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I really love about it. And of course, you can't go wrong with Piemonte. I mean, it's like I said, it's the oldest of old school. So there you go.
You know, yes, old school is about right. And like you said earlier, it goes really well with a lot of different
Yes.
notes
Yes.
and flavors.
Right.
It goes great with meats, but also the cheeses. I feel that what we picked tonight between the Cowgirl Creamery, the Chimay, and the Fond d'Ambert, I think those are excellent cheeses for this wine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're all going to
Awesome.
bring out a little bit of
Yeah, it brings out
some difference in all of them.
Yeah.
Especially the creaminess in general is,
Yeah.
low tannins. That's what makes, Barbera so special. There's a little peppery note to this cheese as well.
Yes.
When you have pepper, it can be a difficult pairing because if you have too much tannin strength to it, it's going to make it a lot hotter. So something with soft tannins really kind of allows the pepper to showcase, but
Yeah.
also doesn't contribute to changing the flavor too much.
And then the coolness of the mushrooms as well.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
No, I mean, I love the texture of this cheese. I love eating it young. I love eating it older when it's just towards the end of the shelf life. That's when I like it the most. Started slowly. When you look at this right here, you can see in the center, right over here, it has typically cheese ripens from the outside to the inside. So you have this really nice center white, and then you have this absolutely stunning aging over here. And that's what makes it really very enjoyable.
Oh, yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Well, I especially enjoy. I mean, the cheese when it's just very gooey on the outside. That for me, that's the best part with the rind. So I like and all the creaminess and the gooiness, and it's more for me like a French.
Take a piece of cheese and just let it get warm in your mouth. Mush it up, put it to the roof of your mouth, and then see the flavor. Take a sip of wine and see how it changes as it gets warmer.
So like I would just add, you're kind of going to get, once you get your third bite in, that's when you really start to get that flavor profile to open up.
Yeah.
It's cool on the tongue when you first get it, but once you, like you said, you press it into the palate, second, third bite in, you really start to see what the cheese is about.
I'm almost now starting to pull out like
Right.
flowers,
So it's
the
completely
lavender,
different,
the
right?
violet,
Yes.
and that's kind of really
As opposed to the first bite.
Yeah, what I like on this particular cheese is because you can literally taste the grassy notes of the cheese, in grassy notes in the flavor of the cheese. Okay, you have this little bit of salty morning dew from the ocean, and the animals, of course, eat that, and that resonates very much strongly, actually, in the cheese itself. So, okay, let's go.
No, next cheese.
Next cheese.
Okay, so the next cheese, the next cheese. Okay, so the next cheese is the Vieux Chimay. This one right here. So this one is from Belgium. This is an old cheese too, and is a Trappist cheese. So that means that cheese is made by the monks. And to be a Trappist cheese, there's 3 rules to be followed. So the first one, it has to be made 100% in the abbey was, and then baking process has to be also made by the monks. All the profits must be reinvested in the abbey foundation. So that's
Monks.
Yes, the monks.
Yes, that's the one thing about a lot of the cheeses in the old age was actually produced to preserve the milk. So what made it interesting is that a lot of the monks and the priests were starting to make the cheese, and that's how it actually became cheese making. Okay, quite interesting. I mean, you look at the Chimay, they're doing a phenomenal job with this one, and then also you look at Abbe de Belac.
Abbé de Bellac, yes.
Okay,
Sure.
it's another monastery or an abbé-made cheese, okay, produced by monks. Sadly, now the Abbé de Bellac is actually, what I was told just recently, the monks got too old. So they came up for the United States with a pasteurized version of it. We still get some, but it's quite expensive. Okay, and it's going to happen the same thing with this Chimay over here eventually.
So this cheese has been made for about like 100 years. So we have just to believe that in 1986, by mistake, they forgot some of the cheese on shelves. And then maybe 6 months after that, they find the cheese and they taste it. And of course, it was amazing. So they decide to make that called that cheese, the vieux Chimay, for the old Chimay. So, you know, a lot of things happen by mistake.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the wonderful mistake. The old Chimay is a little bit orange because they had some annatto to color the paste. And this is a natural rind, so you could eat the rind on this one too. For this cheese, they only use the milk of summer month. And this is a cow's milk. Here you go.
I like when you smell it, I love the aroma of the cheese by itself. Just excellent.
It's very nutty. Yeah.
Want the bigger piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fruity.
You have a lot going on here in this cheese.
Yeah.
Flavor profile.
Wow.
Based on the wine, what are you guys' input on that?
Right off the top, I love the nose on it. It's got like a sweet funk to it, like the fruitiness.
Yeah, yeah. It's fruity.
Yeah, and it goes over well. It goes over very well.
Mm.
So that goes back to what I was saying earlier about it being a cheese that can stand on its own without having a wine cut through it. I really appreciate that.
I agree with it. You know, the fruitiness complements the fruitiness in the wine, and I think the acid in this wine really shows up because this cheese is a little bit denser.
Yes,
it's a lot richer. You know, it's got a tremendous amount of creamy and nuttiness to it.
Yeah.
And when you finish it, you get that little kiss of sweet fruit with the wine, and then that acid comes in and just gravitates you towards taking another bite.
It's interesting. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
That's almost a cheese board by itself.
Oh, yeah.
Like the notes that you get in that one. It's almost a cheese board in its own.
There's never enough cheese in my life or our life, actually. I'm very fortunate that I get to do this for this many years. And it's just every time I taste, even if it's the same cheese, throughout a process of 6 weeks. And trust me, ask Caroline next time you guys come in how often I have cheese as a snack. I love how the cheese changes, just like wine, okay, with age. So the next one would be, okay, let's cut and plate the Chimay.
Cut and plate. There's several ways you can cut it, but the main thing to focus on is everyone has the same amount of rind. It's not fair that one person gets more rind than the other. So I'm going to cut it exactly like Caroline did, just in little wedges. I think that's fun. You're going to cut it all the way around.
Look at her as a proud like teacher.
She's amazing. Look at that.
It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Look at that.
Ooh. There you go. Then you can transfer it onto your plate. And then what we like to do, kind of separate it, or you can flip it on its side, either way. But we like to do this. Just like that, just to entice the fingers to pick up the cheese.
Yeah, something that's simple, easy.
We've been all our life.
Just have fun with it. I mean,
Yeah.
don't overthink the cheese board. There is no right or wrong. Just have fun with it, arranging the cheeses, adding different ingredients to it, and just enjoy. It's relaxing to do that. All right. Janelle, you want to go ahead and start with the turkey?
Turkey. So we have a very
Janelle?
special treat for you guys. If
You've
anyone,
been doing it already?
well, just kind of. If anyone has ordered a cheese board for Thanksgiving next week, anyone who ordered a board, 6 people or more, will get a little turkey centerpiece, if you will. Yeah.
So she was supposed to be teaching me this whole time how to make this.
Don't look at my picture. Ours looks better.
Yes.
So this is just this is sopressata dolce and sopressata picante. I'm just layering it, making some wings for the turkey. What does a French turkey sound like, Caroline?
Well, I don't think this is better than gobble, 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 gobble. I don't know.
So all I did is just layer it. I did the dolce, and then I'm doing the picante, just fanning it out. Wings.
Nice.
And then layering the cucumber and carrots. Yeah. You got it?
I think I do.
She got it. So, it's not too late to order your cheese board, guys. We got you covered for the holidays.
A few weeks ago, I had the pleasure of being camping by Williams, Arizona, and of course, we took the grandkids with us. And when we did our morning walk with the dogs and everything else, we saw a couple of wild turkeys.
Ooh.
It was just absolutely. Ooh, there flies dinner.
So, right here is this is our apple smoked goat cheese. These are just some olives for the eyes and a little carrot for the beak. And that's it. And then our little turkey feet.
Made out of cheese.
Yeah. And then some green for aesthetics. Little flowers here and there.
Look at that.
Ta-da.
Beautiful.
go.
Y'all made me nervous.
So again, don't forget cheese boards next week. Oh, it's gone. I can't.
What's our cutoff?
Last day to order cheese boards, I would say Monday by 10 a.m. After that, we're probably not going to accept any more because we are
Busy already.
Oh yeah.
And thank you. We appreciate
We
that.
appreciate all of you.
Yes.
We are closed Thanksgiving, so everybody can enjoy the families. But we are open Friday and Saturday. So if you need something for family in town or anything, please stop by Friday or Saturday. Or if you're hungry after shopping, yes, come and get something special and with a glass of wine. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Enjoy these beautiful days. So,
Woo!
Oh, Kathleen wants you to do the sound again.
Okay. Glug, 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 glug.
that is so French and cute. You want to show the finished product?
Later, questions.
Okay.
Okay. So the last cheese is the fourme d'Ambert. That beautiful blue cheese.
Okay.
So this is half of the cylinder, but that cheese, yes, it's a little cylindrical cheese, beautifully blue vein. It's a nice cow's milk, very creamy. So this cheese is probably one of the oldest cheese in France, maybe like 1,000 years ago.
Dating back all the way to the Romans.
Yeah,
actually.
to the Romans. So, but for sure, in the 9th century, we have some images of that cheese over in France. So today, that cheese is product. It could be product like in a cooperative or artisanal cheese. It's age. The minimum age is 40 days, but usually is aged more longer because it's going to be more complex and I mean get more creamy. Let me cut that so we could taste that cheese. Here you go. I could feel no. Creamy is it just a cut it?
And
So
it's creamier than a Stilton, for example.
oh yeah, it's more creamy. If you compare also that to a Roquefort, well, it's a different type of milk, but it's more creamy
Yeah.
because the Roquefort it's a little more crumbly in texture and a little more piquant because of the ship's milk cheese. Here you go. So let me cut that. Finish to cut that.
Yeah.
So
Gentlemen, let's talk about this foam down there with the wine.
So the first thing that I noticed when I got a chance to smell it is there's a grainy note to it, very grainy note to it, which tells me that it's going to taste like really solid, like it's getting to it. Very good. I wasn't expecting that from a blue cheese.
No.
No,
It's
it's not the normal
no.
tanginess that you expect with it.
no, not
Yeah.
at all.
Not at all. This is much different.
Has a little bit of I always call it reminiscence of or similarities to a gorgonzola, like a mountain gorgonzola. Okay, cow's milk produced in a absolutely stunning area. You can taste the grasses, you can taste the terroir in this cheese, and
Natural salt.
Yes, exactly,
Yeah.
natural saltiness to
Yeah.
it, and I just love the aroma on it. Jason.
Yeah, no, I get all those notes as well.
Yeah.
I get like a little like smoky incense.
Oh
out
yeah.
of this,
It does get it.
This cheese, which I think, to me, it's the wine in a sense. I think most cheeses go very well with dessert wines and with fortified wines. Almost
Yes.
every one. But not many people can drink a whole bottle of port or Madeira, sherry,
Right.
or
Right.
dessert wine for that sense. So you're trying to think about pairing, getting a full bottle of wine to share between a couple people or just yourself. I think like Rhone wines,
Mhm.
and I think Barbera are your approachable reds that
Yeah.
are
The-
universally
Yeah.
able to pretty much
I agree.
hit a bunch of different styles.
I
Sometimes this style of cheese can be a little overpowering.
Yeah.
Can dominate.
Now, sorry, would this cheese go good with a Beaujolais? Think about
I would
the
say
flavor
a
profiles.
crew level for sure.
Yeah, definitely crew level. I was going to
Okay.
say like not just your
Nouveau
typical
or
across the board.
something, your traditional village, it's
Yeah.
going to be a little light.
Yeah.
You want something that
It's
can
not a
stand
horrible
alone.
pairing,
Little
but
body. Yeah.
it's just the cheese is going to dominate a Beaujolais.
Yeah. I think something.
Something that could stand alone,
Yes.
and then you can. Because what happens here with this particular offering we're doing today, it actually gets creamier once you add the wine to it,
Mhm.
as opposed to that chalky tanginess that you would expect. It gets creamier once you have the wine. So,
Yeah.
like Jason was saying, at crew level, reserve. I mean, it's you're looking at something that can stand on its own.
Yeah, Brewy or Morgon.
Yeah,
Boulevard.
absolutely.
I-
Very good cheese. Very good
Very
cheese.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the difference between cooperative and farmstead. Cooperative, a lot of the dairies are bringing in their milk. There's a certain, for a PDO or POD, a certain farmers are allowed to bring the milk in for this particular cheese. Where on a farmstead, the milk the cow is milked and then it goes into a vat and it's produced right there on the farm, and that's would be the main difference.
Yeah. Well, the cooperative, they usually does that in France, when especially in the mountain region, when I mean all the cows graze in the mountain, and it's far away from each other, so it's easier to bring the milk to one spot and make the cheese there. So that's the cooperative. And so that it's the same thing with the comté, the Fourme d'Ambert. Fourme d'Ambert, it's just that it's the easiest way. It's made in Auvergne region, which is kind of mountain and kind of flat. It's not that high mountain.
Hillies.
Yeah, it's hillies, and the cows are outside all year long. That means in the higher and during summer, and in the plain. I mean, during winter.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, it will snow there, but the snow doesn't stick around. It usually snows, and then it's by the end of the day or the next day, it's usually melted away.
yeah.
So that's how the cows can be staying out there on the farm and grazing. So
So, and of course, when you have a grass-fed milk, I mean, you have the cheese. You could taste all everything in the cheese. All the earthiness. Do you want some cheese? Sorry. Sorry. There you go. Share the cheese.
Make it sound so good.
I definitely think the Fourme d'Ambert is one of my favorite blue cheeses.
Oh yeah.
Also because you can eat the rind on it.
Well, it's a natural rind.
Okay, it's a natural rind, and
Even if you could get like funky like this, I mean, that's the natural rind, and of course you could eat it.
Good.
Yeah.
Diana, you want to cut the cheese? You want to cut the cheese?
Caroline cut them really, really big, but I want a smaller size
Awesome.
because this one is pretty strong. So we want little triangles again, little bite-sized pieces.
Yeah. I would like to add too, if you think that cheese is too strong for you, please add drizzle a little bit of honey.
Oh, honey is great with blue cheese.
Honey, yes.
Try with the
Honey,
jam that you got.
yeah. Honey is definitely a must on your board, because you could put honey on almost all of them.
Yep.
Or you can also come by and get a watermelon mostarda. Watermelon mostarda has a little bit of a sweetness, tanginess to it. So it's really fantastic product. It goes very well with that as well.
That will be
or
the upgrade.
Even a chutney. I mean, if you think
Of
about
course.
it, you make a nice plum chutney or a mango chutney, and that would go to sweetness, would go really well with that.
Start building your board.
Look at this. Look at that beautiful board.
There's a question.
Milk fat in these cheeses are generally cheeses all around a certain level, a percentage.
Of
Like,
that.
Your normal typical milks in your store, no fat, 1%, 2%. You get 4% of yogurt or cottage cheese. That's on the higher level. Most cheeses that are in that teens, right, in the low teens. Is there rules or laws behind it? Are blues higher in
I would
dairy
say
fat content?
I would say the one with the most fat content are usually the stuffed ripping cheese. After that,
They don't, when they make the cheese, they don't skim off. So when you get your 1% and 2% and whatever else, that's when they start skimming. So if you come in and you get a gallon of Sandhill Farms dairy milk, you can see that the top part of that gallon is all fat. So, and that's what you want for cheese making. You want a nice, rich creaminess to it. Look at Wisconsin, okay? Look at California using Holstein cows because of the fat content in the milk and the density and everything else.
and also you have to think when you're doing artisanal cheese, when you follow the lactation, you have more fat content in the winter milk than you have in the summer milk.
Right.
Well,
Summer milk.
especially, I mean, if it's grass fed, I mean, you have all those flavor, but the fat content is a little less during summer.
Yeah.
And then you have to, you have to think, like if the cows feed their little cow,
Calves.
the calf, yes. So it's just at first the milk is very rich, and then when the calves start to eat, the milk is less. So you have that lactation with a lot of fat, and then progressively it's like a little
Slowly
less.
tapering
Yeah.
off.
Does that affect taste and texture equally, or is it more so one or the other?
Well,
Because
Yes.
that affects how you taste it with the wine.
Yes,
depending on the
absolutely. I
factor.
mean, yes, you will get different flavor
Yes.
notes
Okay.
on the cheese.
Okay.
You will get different characteristics on the cheese.
Okay.
Okay, I mean, it's the same when you use like Caroline said, a summer milk and a winter milk cheese. Okay, I would say the best way to see the difference is on a Comté or a Beaufort or even an Emmental. Okay, from Switzerland, Parmesan. You can taste the difference of when the cows are what are they being fed, where they're grazing.
Mhm.
Is it high mountains, low mountains, valleys? I mean, it just, yes, it all reflects it. Okay, so I went to a farm in California where they were making cheese, and the cows were literally just in pastures, milk cows. Okay, and they started making cheese with that. How did it affect? These cattle were not grazing, they were literally fed hay and grains and
Right.
whatever else.
Right.
So the cheese was little harsher in
Okay.
taste,
Okay.
but still a
A
fantastic
bit
cheese.
sharper. if you
Yes,
will. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little sharper because of the feed.
Gotcha. That's a great question, actually, by Jason,
Yeah,
because that
it's-
helps us to understand
Because
when making recommendations. Right.
because as I'm diving into this cheese,
Right.
it is dense and it is
It really
rich and it
is.
is
It
creamy
is.
and I almost like have to have wine.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I have a little bite and it's like so mouth, it coats the
Right.
whole,
Right.
your whole palate, and you're just like, oh, I need this, I need the acid.
Yeah.
To get a little bit more.
And
Well,
then
I-
once you get that acid, it just kind of
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
smooths it out. It's,
I think the biggest thing about cheese and wine, when you enjoy cheese, don't enjoy a glass of water with it, because what it is, it's just like cheese fondue or raclette. The water binds the fat together and you feel full and
Gotcha.
bloated
Gotcha.
and whatever else. So you always want to have the wine with it because it starts to break it down.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, the acid in the wine kind of wakes up
correct.
properly. Yeah.
So, all right. All right, let's go back to the cheese board.
All right. Hi guys.
All right, we are gonna finish the cheese board. This is where your creativity comes in. So we placed the cheese all nice. If you guys wanted to move it, I moved it a little. This is how I want my cheese. Time to bust out your dry ingredients and your other accompaniments. We're gonna cut up some figs.
We apologize. We completely forgot to put the crackers in there, which were gonna be these sweet little flatbreads.
Maticas.
We forgot because I ate it. Just kidding.
But you
But
can
we did
use
forget.
any crackers you want. Anything
You have bread at home? Toast.
Yeah.
toasted.
go.
Perfect for your
Crostinis.
board.
You could also use fresh bread.
Fresh bread, any
Yeah,
kind of
Fresh
Fresh
bread.
roasted bread.
Yep.
Ciabatta or
Okay.
a baguette.
Damn.
And
Bam.
I cut my apricots in thirds, so they're nice little strips. We don't want a full mouth of apricots. And then that gives everybody a chance to get some, of course. Put those right here.
Get it, girl.
Look at that.
Get it. Get it.
There.
Beautiful.
Mm.
There. We want olives, of course.
So we have different colors,
Different
different
textures,
texture.
Different flavors.
flavors.
Mm.
Oh yes.
Is
Sweet
there
and
anything that tastes good with anything? Is there anything that tastes good with anything?
What would
What
pair
are the
well?
cherry choices, you guys? Oh my gosh, who English me?
So, definitely the Ambert I would put with the fig or the apricot.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're sweet.
Something
Yeah.
sweet, definitely something sweet.
Yeah,
What was this one again?
the chimay.
Vieux chimay.
Vieux chimay.
Mm.
Exactly what I
Yes.
would pair it with, and the
Little
cornichons.
spicy peppers. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Aha.
And or cornichons.
So I'm torn because I do like this one on its own with the wine.
Yes.
Very good with
Yeah.
So
it breaks my heart to know that I don't want to pair it with anything else.
That's okay.
I mean,
You don't have
Well, you
to.
can just eat it as,
In
as
France, we just enjoy cheese because it's cheese.
Yeah, cheese is
it is.
happiness, you guys.
Look at that. Look at how it comes together so easily.
Yeah.
Kathleen, did you get duck bacon? I want to know if you have duck bacon
Oh,
on
did
your
she?
board.
Ugh. I mean,
No, duck
no.
bacon is good. Go down.
And
was
we
me.
just fill in the spaces with something sweet here, something sweet there.
There you go.
Almonds, when they're not candied, are a great
Cleanser.
palate cleanser. So it's always good to have those on your board, or even if you can put ginger on your board, that's also good too. But for now, we have almonds. And it
That's
works.
beautiful.
Almonds.
Look at
and
that.
We're
That
all
is
done.
Perfect for the holidays, boys and girls. Woo, woo, woo,
You're gonna hear us. That's gonna be our welcome when you come into the shop.
Yeah.
woo. Bunch of turkeys running around here.
We are gonna be like turkeys with all those boards.
Yeah.
Keep them coming.
So
All right.
Beautiful.
So you see, a cheese board is actually really simple to make. Just have fun with it. Put your imagination to it. Only your mind limits your imagination on the cheese board. Just have fun. Just enjoy. Grapes go really well with that. Different berries, different fruits.
fresh fruit.
Cut a green apple. Cut a honey crisp.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, all these things. A pear.
Persimmons are in season right now.
Yes,
Really good.
take some plums. Okay, plums are really different right
Fresh
now.
figs too.
Fresh figs, absolutely. So, all right. Well, we got the cheese board done. We got the turkey done.
Turkeys and cheese boards and.
There we go.
All day.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
Don't mind my cheese, okay? This
Yeah,
is
I was
fun.
gonna say same.
Don't forget, cheese board for Thanksgiving or whatever. I mean, if you guys just want some cheese board, hey, come on down. Get some cheese. We are going to be open for Black Friday and Saturday. I believe we are going to have a Black Friday cheese sale. So come through. We'll have a list of cheeses in the shop. And then
They'll be 30% off if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
30% off of selected cheeses. We'll have a list for you in shop. And yeah, come see us. Come spend time with us. Come meet Diana. 2.0. Hello.
All right. No more wine. A little bit more water.
Who did that?
Well, ladies, thank you very much.
It
It was awesome. Thank you for being part of our team. I'm very fortunate. We are very fortunate to have all of you here. So thank you for that. Jason, cheers.
As
Chris.
always. As always.
Thank you so much,
Pleasure.
everybody.
Thanks for joining us.
Cheers. Thank you for
What is-
letting. This is
The
our
donut tree.
donut tree. Carl's
Oh.
Donuts actually is
Yeah.
making this donut tray.
Nice.
Okay, with the donut holes. So if you want something unique that you can pick from, get yourself a donut tray.
I think this would go well with the
Oh yeah,
last
with the
Yeah.
blue,
Yeah.
yeah,
little
with the
Lambert,
foam Lambert.
a little donut, wine,
There you go.
repeat.
It's a party.
So our next cheese class is gonna be the baked brie. Oh, and there's a limit on that one, so don't wait too long.
Yes, please sign up for
Yes.
that because we have a lot of baked brie to make. So we have 1 month to make them all. And so please sign up early with it. Pardon? Get 2. Yes. Oh, actually, yes, you get 2 bries, actually. Sorry. Long day.
One for class for Christmas.
1 for class and 1 for you to enjoy for Christmas. Okay, so
Do we have any questions?
yes, please ask away.
Concern.
Don't open another bottle of wine.
Are you kidding me?
Sorry.
I really
We
thoroughly.
do drink for a
We
living.
do this for a living, so you know.
We're cheesing and whining for life.
This is when you know the cheese is good.
That's
You
right.
need more wine.
Our
next
shirt- our next shirt,
cheesing and whining.
Wine for life.
From now until the end of the month, we will feature this on special. On special. So when you come in, ask for it. There will be a surprise discount for you on this
Hello.
particular wine. And thank you for your support.
It's a great holiday. This goes really well with turkey.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for letting us
Deep fried
Yeah,
turkey.
Absolutely. All those sandwiches that
You know what?
make afterwards.
So-
I love
Yeah.
when I do a deep fried turkey. I use actually, oh my God, a cherry wheat beer and inject that into the turkey, cherry wheat.
We have to talk more
Why
about
not?
that.
Oh yeah, no, you just inject that turkey, I mean, very thoroughly.
Yeah.
Okay, you let it rest for about 25, 30 minutes, and then you slowly put it into the deep fryer. Be very careful. Get it in slow. Make
Yeah,
sure you have a good glove on. Stay back and reach over and slowly lower it in. I had one time a gentleman, and he just dropped that thing in, and it was a big fireball.
Some great YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, there's some great videos
Uh,
out there.
People,
So-
those people in the South, they love to fry anything.
Yeah.
I lived in New Orleans for. I've seen some oil fires
Some
myself.
mishaps.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It's not pretty.
Don't cook near your house.
Yep.
All I gotta say.
Yeah, out in the backyard.
Or a dry tree or a pine tree in particular.
Right.
So, Brian,
It looks like that.
Okay. toast, cheers to all of you. Thank you for inviting
Thank
us into
you.
your living room. Ladies, gentlemen,
Ladies.
it's been,
Cheers.
thank you, Curd Nerds. Curd Nerds. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Okay, so from our house to you, cheers, thank you, and we will see you soon.
Keep cracking bottles.
Yeah, keep cracking bottles and eat more cheese.
It's the only way we're gonna get
There we go.
Cheese and
Cheese.
whining.
Wine,
Drink more.
sleep, and repeat. Okay, so again, thank you very much, y'all. Enjoy the family. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Stay
And
safe,
thank you for
everyone.
supporting us. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we will see you soon.
Yep.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Push.
Sayonara.
Something.
Something.
On the block.
That was great.